just focus on your life, focus on your goals.
But do you feel, as an individual coming from that culture, that, like, let's be honest, right? Like, a lot of people in your culture stay together, you know, and they don't let their, like, families separate.
You have, like, different kinds of books that tell stories about people, but then you have that flexibility of, like, you can do whatever you want, just as long as you respect God, respect your parents. It's mostly like respect people. That's what the religion stands for. Respect, especially women, children, your husbands, and your parents, because your parents are known to be like a form of God. And I gotta tell you about the cows too.
Low key, I feel like that's like metaphorical.
Yeah,
you know why? Because like, you ever and I experienced this. You ever try, like, you're excited about something, you tell certain people about it, and then, like, for some reason that shit doesn't happen, or whatever the fuck.
It
you know
does.
what I mean? Like, and then but when you don't say anything and you're just like, and then boom, it happens, and then you're like, yeah, motherfucker, this happened, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
that happens,
right?
Yeah,
it's fucking weird, man.
It is weird.
Yeah,
dude, it's just. Like,
I think it has to do with motherfuckers hating on you.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm done with the shit, bro. I really like, I hate like that type of annoying, petty ass bullshit energy. Hold on, my bad.
Right. Cut.
Do you feel like you've ever like faced some type of like prejudice at some type of point in your life?
Never, honestly. I've wondered about that too, because at this point in today's day and time, everything has just become so mixed up that everybody understands one another. It's like different cultures come in, they intertwine. We got cultural diffusion going on and whatnot. Over here, it's not. It's a different kind of mentality, different kind of hustle.
Yeah.
Because you see, people are just like, the way I look at it is like a line of fire that's chasing you, and that line of fire is called poverty. And then you gotta keep on running in order to avoid it.
Go. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know.
So yeah, we got DEEPAK in the crib. What's good, man?
What's good, bro?
How you feeling?
I feel good, man.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I knew you had a trek to come over here. It was pretty far, right?
It was.
Yeah, but smooth sailing though?
Smooth sailing.
No crazy crackheads?
You know how it is, man.
It be happening, right?
It
exactly.
happens. Man, that's here every day.
Right. Yo, so tell me a little bit more about yourself. Like, where'd you grow up?
I grew up right here in New York City. I'm born and raised over here. My parents are from India. That's my background. And I studied there for like 5 years.
In India?
Yeah, in India.
Where?
In Haryana. It's like central India. I studied there. I learned Hindi when I was there. So it comes in clutch now because people are like, wow, you know how to read Hindi? I was like, yeah, well, I picked it up when I was younger. So I'm grateful for that. And I was like 6 to 11. That's when I like learned and picked up everything. But I wanted to come back to the U.S. every single year of my life. I was like, dude, I do not like it here.
Why?
It's hot.
Oh, is it just because of the weather?
The weather, the mosquitoes, the culture, I just did not fit.
The culture was just too much of the same thing? You like the diversity of New York City? And
I do like the diversity, but also just felt like I didn't belong because there's a culture shock of like language barriers, of like attitude, etiquette. Religion, well, I wasn't too religious.
Okay.
Because over here, like, what's an American religion? It's just all mixed up. That's what it is. But over there, it's a sense of purity, sense of respect, and everything else. Because if you look at Japan, everything has a flow. Because you can't just go and take your American culture over there because you're going to be like an outcast. And that's how it felt. I was just like, dude, I'm like used to being chill, like doing this, doing that. It's actually funny because when I went over there, I used to play the drums. And I put my leg on the drum because I was like, okay, I'm done with it and whatnot. And then some dude came up to me like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just chilling. And then he's like, you're disrespecting the instruments. I was like, what?
That's taking it a bit too far.
I'm like, yo.
Like, chill, bro. Like, there's no disrespect. I be doing this.
I know. I'm like, every little thing. And over there, like over here, you're just kind of chill. Like in classroom, you raise your hand, you answer. Over there, you got to stand up. You got to stand up. You got to say, ma'am. You got to be so respectful and everything else.
Okay, super respectful. Okay.
I was like, bro, I'm not doing all that. I'm going back. Like, I want to have a relaxed lifestyle.
Right. Like, not many things need to be so pressed upon.
They don't.
Right.
They really don't. Just focus on your life. Focus on your goals.
But do you feel, as an individual coming from that culture, that, like, let's be honest, right? Like, a lot of people in your culture stay together. You know, and they don't let their like families separate. like a lot in my culture, Spanish people, bro, they be fucking like having left and right, baby mamas, da 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 da, drama, you know what I mean? Like I don't want any of that. I'm not trying to have any of that.
But it happens.
But it happens. And I'm not trying to like shade anybody, bro. Anybody. I just like I feel that maybe certain parts of the morale and buildup of your culture provides for something that continues together.
It does.
Yeah.
Because that helped me learn the difference in cultures, different world entities. Because somebody might believe in something, somebody might believe in something else. And then you just learn like different parts of the world are just beautiful in their own way, even if you may not understand it. So for me, as a kid, I didn't understand anything. And when you grow up, you realize... Yeah, nobody does. It's like you're just put into this world like, okay, I understand this.
Figure it out.
Figure it out, and things are forced upon you. And I like to like kind of highlight what you mentioned, which is like everybody stays together. They do. There was actually an interview with an Indian actor who came to the U.S., and this was an American interviewer. It's like a female, I think Oprah it was. And then she was so confused. She was like, hey, you still live with your parents. And you're like, what, 30, 40 years old? How does that work? And then he just looked at her. He was like, do you not live with your parents? No, of course not. How does that work? Like, because different cultures, different religions, you can't judge someone based on your culture because it's different.
Yeah, and also, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Indians that are from India, that are in America, actually send back the most money out of any other race in America.
I would have to agree with that because that is a very common thing. If you really think about it, that's a very easy way to get rich. What do you mean by that? The worth of an American dollar is equal to like 89 rupees. And it's been increasing from like 70, 80, and now it's like 89 point something. So if you earn $1 over here, you're essentially working like an hour and a half over there. So, and you're basically...
For $1.
Imagine that. So the amount of pay that you get over here is according to living standards in New York.
Right.
But not according to what's over there. Like, let me tell you how cheap it is over there. Anything like brush, toothpaste, something like that, you pay a couple of dollars for over here.
Now, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even
close
now,
to $3-4 actually.
$3-4.
Yeah, it depends. Toothpaste? Yeah, it depends. What kind of toothpaste do you want? You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
are we going to Family Dollar? Or are we going to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, but go ahead.
But that's the minimum, right?
Right.
And then you're like, oh, $3-4, that's cheap. Like, don't worry. 10 cents.
Yeah.
That's all you got to pay over there.
Yeah,
if you convert it.
Penicillin too, right?
Yeah.
Like cheaper medicines. Like same shit. You're going to have the same like reaction.
Same
right?
clothes, same everything else.
Interesting.
That's why made in China is such a big deal because it's like, it's cheap production over there.
Right.
So it's very, very similar.
So that's what I hear. Yeah, it's actually, so Indians and then Chinese, in terms of the order that send the most money back to their homeland. Indians, and this was like back when I was in college, so maybe it's different now. But I remember reading this study that was like Indians sent back, I think in 2016, $500 million.
Wow.
Like together, you know what I mean? All the Indian families back to India, and then China, and then Mexicans.
Mexicans is big time.
Yeah, they're super family oriented.
They are.
Yeah.
Just like you said, Spanish people.
That's true. They're probably the exclusion. Nah, I'm talking shit. All right? But all right.
That's
but
wild,
also getting back into the whole aspect of just living in India. Like, what's that like?
Oh man, I mean, it's huge.
You guys take shits differently, right?
Yeah, it's like you kind of have to.
No, you know what I mean.
I do.
Like actual shits. Right?
Yeah,
no? All right, because it's different, right? It's not like on a toilet, right? It's like on this different way, right?
It's like an Eastern toilet. We use a Western toilet.
Eastern? Oh, you got a Western toilet.
No.
You got explain it. Oh no,
Okay,
we got
our
the Western.
toilet is the Western, where you just squat.
Okay.
And then over there, it's like you squat all the way down to the floor.
Oh,
and
shit.
That's called like the Indian toilet or the Eastern toilet.
All right. You fuck with that toilet or is it too much work?
It's too much. Technically, medically, it is better.
Okay.
Because you're not supposed to like sit down and poop.
Right.
People get constipated.
But just get the potty squatty. You know the potty squatty?
Yeah.
That's the fucking shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo.
like plop, plop. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
Yo, but it's true. All right. So,
I'll tell you what's crazy though before you move on.
Go ahead.
people who don't have toilets, there's a huge issue with poverty. They have to go out in the fields and do it.
Okay.
They dig a little hole.
You never took a shit in the field?
I don't mess with that, man.
You never took a shit in the field? All right.
I've taken a
You're
piss.
too cool.
I've taken a piss in the fields.
All right.
I mean, it just feels like freedom.
I'm not gonna lie, I've taken a shit outside before because I had to. I had to, bro. There was no bathroom, bro. I had to take a shit.
I guess you have to.
Yo, bro, I had to, bro. I had to. That shit was like, it was coming out, bro. I was like, nah.
Yo, that's ingrained
Bro.
in here, bro.
Yo, it's ingrained everywhere now, bro. You fucking, yo, it is what it is.
You're
you know
hearing
what I
this
mean?
live on YouTube.
It's nature. You know what I mean? Like, what's
It
fucking
is.
really wrong with it? You know what I
Nature's
mean?
calling.
It's calling. It called me today. Not today, but that day. All right. So what I really brought you here for, right? And beyond, you're a very interesting individual, right? But I also want to know more about like Hinduism.
All right.
Put me on, bro. Like what? Because that's like the first religion, right? Like in today's standards, right? Because then the Sumerian times and then beyond before, right?
Yeah.
Like, but how does that all like?
It is.
Do you know? Do you know?
I know.
All right, put me on, bro.
I know you know.
All right, bet.
So, yo, this was like since day one, since birth.
I'm
like,
excited.
You're in Hindu, right?
Yo, I don't want to say I'm sorry. Yo, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. This is like new shit. You
You
know
gotta
what I
give me
mean?
a little bit of drum roll then, if you're excited.
All right,
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So Hinduism, it's absolutely phenomenal if you like learn about it. It's just like Christianity that's kind of like inverted. So Christianity is very similar to like Islam, and then ours is a little bit separate. So from birth, you know how Pakistanis and Indians are kind of like kept separate from one another. You know the history of them? So Pakistan used to be India.
Okay.
And then they broke off because they couldn't come to terms of agreement. They're like different religion, different cultures. So from a young age, you were kind of drilled, like, oh, this is what you are, this is your religion. We are polytheistic. We believe in many gods. But realistically, behind the scenes, we also have one God, right? Just like Muslims, which is like Allah.
When you say behind the scenes, what do you mean by
Behind the scenes, I mean, if you ask someone, hey, is Hinduism polytheistic or monotheistic? They're going to say poly, because that's what's written in books, that's what everybody knows. But realistically, it's just all of those gods, like hundreds of gods, is just a form of like one God. And then there's like three main gods. It's like one that's like the creator of worlds, destroyer of worlds. The other is like kind of like the upkeep of worlds. That's something like that. And then they change different forms, different entities. Like one, we have a god of like wealth, god of knowledge. And just it's crazy. When
Ganesh, right?
There is Ganesh, yes.
Ganesh.
He's the god of like, I guess, wisdom.
Oh yeah, isn't it wealth? I thought it was supposed to bring money.
Wealth is Saraswati. Saraswati, she has like a little sitar. It's
Okay.
like a guitar looking
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So everybody has a story. And Ganesh is like the son of Shiva.
So let me show you, huh?
Let's bring it on. Yo! Show it to the camera.
That's Ganesh, yo. I fuck with Ganesh.
Yes,
You know,
it
all right,
is.
so let me tell you. Yeah, you can leave it right there. All right, you know why? I'm gonna tell you, and I want you to continue, but I'm gonna tell you a story real quick about why I fuck with Ganesh.
Go for it.
All right. Crazy story. All right, so I was in college.
Yeah.
And I knew this dude that was fucking around with DMT and like psychedelics, shit like that, right? And I was like, I want to try this shit, DMT, right?
Yeah.
So we tried this form of it called changa, where you smoke it. You smoke it in a bowl. You take like 3 strong rips, and then you get this term called blasting off, right? Blasting off is essentially like yo, bro, you hear a fucking rocket ship in your mind, bro. It's wild. Like,
No way.
Yeah, it's really really wild, and it doesn't last long, but it feels like it lasts long. But this is what happened. And I'm gonna play the role into how Ganesh plays into
This
it.
is really wild. I was
It's
not
wild.
expecting it to start like this.
Yeah, nah, it's wild, it's wild. So, all right, this is the first thing that happened. I heard the rocket ship. I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean? Because like, I heard that, you know what I mean? And I also felt like I had the decision whether to do it or not do it. And it felt like it was based out of fear. It felt like it was based out of like, oh, am I gonna be a little bitch about this, or am I just gonna do it? You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm gonna do it. So then, boom, right? Then I see this filter, like this yellowish, pinkish filter, just go like that. The vicinity was the same, but it felt like it was just like there was a filter on it. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, it
right.
looked like it. my friend who at the time, like, he took it and he was like laughing, right? And I was like, what
are
you
you
laughing
laughing
at?
about?
Yeah, like, I just had this crazy ass experience. I'm like, you laughing at me, mother? Nah. But then I look at what he's laughing at, and he has a bunch of Ganesh tapestries and stuff like that in his crib. And yo, bro, Ganesh was dancing, bro. And I'm talking about dancing like in a way that was just dope. Like, it was dope. Like, honestly, it was dope as fuck. Imagine seeing a motherfucker with 6 arms dancing and it's dope. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yo.
And then I find out later on that Ganesh is actually known for his dancing. I didn't know that at that moment. So then I'm like, whoa, like, what's that about, right? I'm looking around in the room and all the Ganeshas in the room were fucking moving in some type of way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So then that's what gave me some type of interest into knowing what the fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
what was that about?
Yeah, what was that about?
Yo, it's like when you look at a dream and you're like, what was that about? Like, what happened?
Exactly.
You're hallucinating the entire time.
That was a hallucination for sure. But the fact that those particular types of hallucinations occurred, it could have been anything else. Why did Ganesh out of all? You know what I mean? Like, in that aspect of thing. But afterwards, you feel like this crazy ass peaceful feeling, and it just lasts for like 2.5 weeks. But it's like not peaceful like you drugged out or some shit. Mm-hmm. Peaceful is like clarity. Peaceful as in like, oh, okay, I feel good. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're just back to the regular sequence of things.
Gotcha.
But it was a very interesting experience, and which is what led me to wanting to know about Ganesh. And then I also I heard if you have a Ganesh in your crib, it's supposed to like bring money. So I was like, oh, give me that. You know what I mean? Like, put it.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, you know?
Right.
Because if you have this kind of outworldly experience with something, it's like, how are we connected? Like, what's going on?
Right.
And maybe it's meant to be. Oh my gosh. Like, imagine, like, what if you just pull up your shirt and you're like, oh, I got tattoos, like, everything else.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
I know. That's crazy. I'd be like, bro, that's insane. It's like, you just had this,
Nah,
like,
but I'll get
story.
one of these little, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it looks cool.
And you know the story about Ganesh, too?
Yeah, well, actually, that's another thing that's very interesting, right? So this is what I do know. All right, and then you could put me on to what you know. Is that
let me tell them about Ganesh. So Ganesh is an elephant god that Hindus have, and this elephant god just has the head of an elephant. He was once a human being. And now go ahead. What experience you have?
No, all I know is that like his dad chopped his head off because he was guarding his home, because he was made to guard the home.
Yeah.
And then he didn't know him because he never met him, and he was like, yo, like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. And then his dad was like, nah, bro, like, and then chopped his head off. And then the mom was tight, right? And then the mom was like, yo, what are you gonna do? And then like he found like the nearest animal, and then it was an elephant, and then
mom,
that's the story.
The mom had to tell the dad, that's your kid
Yeah,
there. And the dad was like, yo, what?
I fucked up, my bad.
And then he did that, and then he went hunting, and the first thing he hunted was an elephant. He's like, okay, let's just replace it. Why not? Medicine, like what?
But I also find that it's interesting because they all have their own vehicles, right? And Ganesh's vehicle is a mouse, and I find that to be, if you think about it, religion's earliest form of comedy.
You're right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, because it's like
elephants are scared of mice.
Elephants are scared of mice.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, mice.
Right. So it's just like, yo, that's some funny shit. If you think about it, maybe it's corny to some people, but for me, that shit's fucking hilarious in an ancient way. You know what I mean? Because it's old. Like, you know what I mean? What's funny in those times?
Yeah.
You know?
And then they're like, okay, let's just make up a story. That's how people used to live, because it's just like, hey, man.
Right.
Based off of stories, facts aren't known that well. It's like even like back in the day, Poseidon and all the Greek gods, they came about because they're like, hey, what's going on? Like, oh, the Greek god is mad. Like, what's going on? Right? There's waves are crashing. That could be like earthquakes are going on. They don't know what that is. And that's what, he's like the son of Shiva. And then that's what he did. Like, Shiva's like the all-powerful. The dancing actually comes from his father. His father's like the real dancer.
Oh, wow.
And then this is just like what you adopt from the father.
Ah, interesting.
And what they say is like when he dances, the entire earth moves. That's what causes earthquakes.
Wow. Yo, you felt that earthquake? That shit was crazy, right?
Yo, twice.
What do you mean twice?
I felt it twice. Once at 10:30, and then the other time was like 4 p.m.
I felt the one at 4 p.m.
Yeah. I was
10:30? Like, maybe I was just like
knocked out.
Nah, I wasn't knocked out because we were at work. Like, nah, I was.
Oh, yeah, you were at work. Yeah. I was in bed.
How'd you feel it, bro? Bro, like what?
I was just like laying down. I was like, dude, why am I shaking?
For a second, I was like, what's going on, yo? I heard it was a 4.8. That's just crazy.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
4.8. It wasn't that bad.
What do you mean? Well, I mean, yeah, not that bad. But have you ever felt that before?
Not that much, you know.
Exactly.
But nothing
So
broke.
Alright. I'm like, where's the logic, bro? Oh, have you ever felt that before in your life? Nah, bro. But nothing broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit's bad, bro. It's just not good. But hey, like, what do I know? I really don't. I'm not a scientist. I'm just making an observation.
Yo, the ones that I actually studied earthquakes.
You studied earthquakes?
I studied at one point because I was just so fascinated.
Okay.
There's like different kinds of waves. There's like a radio wave. There's like a seismic wave. They have seismographs. That's how they calculate the magnitude.
Right.
It's pretty cool. And
it is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then
if you're thinking about, oh, sorry to cut you off, but if you're thinking about like also like tectonic plates, right? Because that's also part of the reason why certain like areas cause to shift and maybe like get a change in the earth, maybe a vibration in the earth, maybe that also plays a role.
Yeah, it absolutely does, because if you look at it, tectonic plates are just like moving lands, technically. And there's certain areas, especially like islands and stuff like that, where the chances of the probability of having an earthquake is much, much higher than somewhere like over here. That's why you barely experience it.
What are the landscapes like in India?
What do you mean when you say landscape?
All right, so you know how there's different terrains?
Yeah.
So I mean by that, like, what are the terrains like? Is it just like jungle and then
it's mixed, honestly.
Yeah, there's icy areas and like mountainous and shit like that. Yeah, as well in India.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
interesting.
Mostly it's mountainous. Like the higher up you go, you will find ice. You will even find snow. It's huge, man. It's so diverse. You'll find a desert there. You'll find rainlands there, where literally it just rains every single day, and it's not normal. You will find grasslands. You'll find normal weather. It's just like average temperature, windy areas. It's just so diverse. It's so diverse.
So it's rich in topography.
It is. That's why the early days, like the trading and everybody else who wanted to invade, like Britishers, they wanted to invade in India because of their fertile land and because their ability to produce so many different variety of crops. And they're like, dude, India's rich because they have their own oil, they have everything else. They get cut off from the world today and be fine. Just like they could like millions of years ago. They have cotton, they have everything else.
I heard something about, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, and I also want to get back into this topography, this whole thing, because I have more questions surrounding that, but I hear that in India they also try to, how do I say, like, keep cricket to themselves, or not, like, is there or their own
I know what you're
league
talking about.
for themselves, something around this context.
No matter how, the best way to explain it is no matter how big cricket gets, it's always going to be the baby.
Okay.
So even if like you got Australians playing, New Zealand playing, everybody else, it's like you go to India, it's a whole different culture. It's like baseball over here,
but it's longer.
Yeah.
Hours and hours and hours and hours, right? Like crazy amount of time.
Dude, the basketball, football games that you have over here are nothing compared to a cricket match in India.
In terms of what though?
In terms of how crazy the fans are and how supportive they are.
Okay.
Like what you see packed over here at like a NFL halftime or like whenever that season comes is the everyday.
You guys also have like billions of more people, right?
We do, yeah. That's it. But people fly in too, just to watch the match. The craziest match that.
By the way, I'm sorry. Do you want something to drink?
Sure.
All right, I'm put.
Yeah.
And we're back. So, thank you. I'm sorry that I didn't offer you in the beginning. That's my bad, bro. Can we cheers on that?
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Where's my manners?
Got some nice.
I just wanted to go right into it.
Yeah.
Oh, you like this?
I do.
So guess where I found this?
Where'd you find it?
Someone just was throwing it out, and I was like, "Word!" I cleaned it. Don't worry, it's clean.
Oh,
but
wow.
It's just like yeah. But I was like, it's crate and barrel. Yeah, so I'm like,
that's good quality.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, like I'm taking that shit, bro. Fuck that. All right, so where were we? Terrain, yes. And then the whole cricket situation, why they keep it to themselves, that's their baby.
Yeah.
All right, so the topography, right? I wanted to ask you this question. I want to see if you know something about your land that I know something about my land. So I was born in Venezuela, right? And that's in South America. What's something very interesting about South America and Africa is that they're connected in many ways. And in one way is the Amazon, right, gets nutrients from the Sahara Desert. The sandstorms that come from the Sahara Desert go and travel into the Amazon and provide nutrients for the growth of the Amazon.
That's pretty crazy.
Right?
I didn't know that.
Isn't that fucking crazy? So is there something in India that's similar? Like that, like is there like another country, or do you possibly provide something to another country? Do you know anything about that for your own like land?
Not like that, not in that sense. Because this is, the closest thing I have is like erosion, where you have like different like channels and everything else built that are like interconnected that help out one another, but not specifically like region based. You know, because different type of...
What do you mean by that? They help each other? How?
In the sense of like, if you have a dry land, right? How are you gonna get water there, right? If there's like a channel built where it rains from one location, you could like kind of build like dig a tunnel or something and have like underwater streams. But these like manual, exactly. But this is like manual labor. I don't know if anything naturally happens, but this is like to kind of help bring everything else together and make it functional. Because there are people that live out there in like 100-degree Fahrenheit just every single day. That's the normal. That's the low.
Wow.
And then it goes upwards to like 120, 130, and they're like, oh.
That's what you meant by it was hot. That's and so many people too. Do you think it's is it that it gets that hot, or is it the proximity of so many people in one that makes it even hotter?
That actually is very interesting, but
you know what I'm saying?
It's actually still pretty spaced out. Even if there's so many people, like you have apartments, condos in like New York City, everybody has their own thing. It's the same way over there. Even though the population is great, there's still a lot of land available. If you look at the United States, a huge chunk of it is not occupied. But if you look at India, most of it is relatively occupied. So the population can spread out. So mostly it just has to do with the fact that it's a desert. Because if you look at Rajasthan is a desert. And there's like different...
Rajasthan, is that like closer to like all those other stans? You know what I'm saying? Like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, da-da-da. I hear stan means land of.
Yeah.
So like Kazakhstan, for example, land of Kazakh. You know, and then like Uzbekistan, land of Uzbek. And like,
I guess they were like, this is name it like
but
that.
what I do know, Pakistan, I hear that, because I asked somebody, I was like, yo, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but like, all right, Paki means pure. So Stan, land of the pure.
Land of the pure.
Technically,
that works.
right?
Technically, yeah.
Like on some shit. I was like, oh shit.
A funny thing is, like, India is just like India, right? In English, we call it Hindustan.
Really?
So Hindustan.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's fucking dope. Locked in. Yo, Hindustan. I'm never calling it India, bro. I'm never calling it. Matter of fact, Hindustan right now. I'm the same. Cause I bet. What do you call Germany?
Okay, I was about to say Germanstan.
No. Do you know?
Deutschland.
Oh shit, you do. Deutschland.
Deutschland.
Yeah, you started. You was like Deutschland. They're not douches, bro. Boy, I spit. They're not douches, bro. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I'm talking shit. I love Germany, bro. I've been there 3 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah, I
God.
fucking love it there.
Dude, my friends.
I got homies out there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want to go. Like, I want to like go on like European tours.
Do it.
Dude, France.
Do it.
Europe.
Do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, just do it. And do it by yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you get the real experience.
Not only that, you get your experience.
I get my experience.
You don't have to fucking, I want to do this. I don't give a fuck what you want to do. Like, honestly, like, it's just like, I want to experience my shit right now. You know what I mean? Like, when you're on vacation, I feel like as a young person, you got to have that independent travel mode at least one time in your life.
Want to know what my first independent travel was at like 5 years old? They just threw me on a plane and just let me go to India.
You just, all right, peace.
I was like...
peace, little dude.
I still remember it, and this is like 20 years ago. I had suitcases.
Okay.
And for the suitcases, I had a key. And then, just so I don't forget that key, they put a little Charmander keychain on it. And I put that in front of... It was in my pocket, but then I couldn't sleep. It was like bugging me. So I put it in the pocket in front of my seat. And I forgot it. And I felt so bad about it because I went home and then my dad was like, how am I supposed to open this? Oh, I have the keys. Wait, where are the keys? Oh, they're in the airplane. I did not. I care about the keys. I care about my Charmander.
Fuck the keys. It was all about the Pokemon. I gotta catch him now.
Oh, but that's awesome, dude. But
That's hilarious.
I didn't answer your question from earlier. I just
What?
want to highlight that. It's like, you remember how you said, like, is it because of population that gets hotter and everything else?
Yeah.
So because they live in a literal desert, like it's mostly the land that it gets really cold at night, it gets really hot in the morning. Because if you live in sand does not have the capability of absorbing heat. So it loses all the heat and then it gains a bunch of heat in the morning. So that's what kind of regulates it.
Okay.
And then they have different people in different areas of India wear different kinds of dresses, and mostly it's because of culture.
Like men and women?
Men and women.
What kind of dresses? What is this? Is this like Scottish shit? Like Scottish dresses?
Not
And
exactly.
Scottish, they be having dresses too, bro?
They do. They
Yeah.
do. And the bagpipes.
And the bagpipes. How do you feel about the bagpipes? Can you hear it? Is that something? No, you can hear it. You could vibe to it. I can't vibe to it, bro.
I can hear it, and it's like, okay, do a little bit of the Scottish dance and this and that.
Do you know what a didgeridoo is?
I've heard that.
All right.
What is it?
All right, so it's a long ass instrument, bro. This is like, I think, I don't know. It could be. I think it's like 4 to 6 feet long. It's like, and it's like it makes this like vibrational sound, like
a horn,
yeah,
a long horn.
But it's cool because it's like bass.
You're right. Yeah.
It's cool because it has bass to it.
Man, I never looked into it. As soon as I heard didgeridoo, I was like, this is probably some nonsensical instrument. Like, I'm not even going to research it. It's not even worth my time.
You know, I saw this video of this beatboxer, and he created, I was like, yo, he made the didgeridoo sound. Yeah. And I was like, what? Like, and it was crazy. I think it was like one of the best, honestly, the best beatboxing videos. Like, you know, you get lost in the sauce for YouTube, like the YouTube rabbit hole, and then you find one, you're like, whoa. That type of thing. Yeah. But yo, I wanted to ask you, is Gandhi like the guy? Like, is Gandhi like the guy like out there? Like, that's the guy.
He's the guy.
Well, was the guy.
Yo, if you mention anything against Gandhi, you got a mob of people who are gonna like lift you up and throw you out.
Damn. Well, then I have a question that might poke some bubbles.
I'm not gonna take it personally. Go for it.
All right, cool. All right, I just want to know. I fuck with Gandhi too, but I just also want to know because I also read some shit and I was like, whoa, is this real? Like, is this not real? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you want to know?
I want to know.
I respect that.
Yeah. So like, I read somewhere that like he purposely slept with a young girl to see if he was gonna be impure.
What? That's the first time.
Is that some conspiratorial shit? Is that like
actually,
some conspiratorial rabbit hole, or like is that real shit?
And the thing is, I can kind of answer that in a sense because I learned everything about Gandhi in India. If you learn about somebody who you hold as like high standards, nobody's gonna mention the bad things that they do.
Right.
If you learn about Martin Luther King in U.S., nobody's gonna ever mention like the bad things he did.
Or that he had multiple like women in his life, or multiple wives or something like that.
He did, and then he did a lot of wrong in his life
no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I definitely yo, bro. Yeah. Everyone has done their shit, bro. Like, everyone has their shit. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe some are worse than others, and it's also like very like cultural as well.
It is.
Because some people like don't look at it as bad as others, and it's just like some people are like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like
no way. At least I'm not like in denial of it. Like, there's no way he could do. Like, I don't know the guy realistically. Like, yeah, I've heard about him. He's actually printed on our rupees, no matter what it is. If it's like a 5, 10, 20, all the rupees, just like Benjamins. We have like Benjamin, Andrew Jackson, all different.
Wow.
It's the same. Gandhi for everything.
Wow.
So you know, if he did do something like that, then people would just like cover it, just like not let the books write it out and stuff like that. But that would be crazy if that's true.
Wow. So, what else of Hinduism that you know that you haven't said already on this podcast? To put me on, like,
so
what is the main like route to what Hindustan preach within their culture?
That's a very interesting question, because even though we technically have one culture, we're still divided in several ways. Different languages, different beliefs, like same gods, just there's no fixed belief. Like if you look at the Quran, everybody has to do something just like this. We don't really have a book like that. We have like different kinds of books that tell stories about people, but then you have that flexibility of like you can do whatever you want, just as long as you respect God, respect your parents. It's mostly like respect people. That's what the religion stands for. Respect, especially women, children, your husbands, and your parents, because your parents are known to be like a form of God. And I gotta tell you about the cows too, because beef is not allowed in Hinduism, and the reason for that is because, just like you said, all the gods have pets, and there's also cow, who's also part of that cycle, you know. And then cows, they provide milk, they provide butter, all kinds of things. So it's just a respectful thing to be like, hey, you know, we respect you and what you give to us. So you're like...
May I ask a quick question about the cows?
Yeah.
Because, like, all right, so I have a friend that, like, his uncle passed away, and he's Guyanese. And, like, you know, they're Hindu as well, like, or they practice, like, Hindu as well, right? Because they have... All right, cool. Because they had his like ashes go into the water, and they were putting milk at the same time. That's a thing?
It's a thing.
What is that about?
Milk is a sign of purity. So when you let go of ashes, it's kind of like, it's like releasing them from their spiritual form so they could go to heaven.
Wow.
And river is also a god. No matter what you see, it's a god.
Wow.
Honestly.
Okay.
So river is known as like...
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like everything.
Yeah.
Right.
We have 4 main rivers, and the main one that we do that in is Yamuna. And you have to specially go and travel to Yamuna. Each river is
have you traveled
purposed. I have.
How was it? It was dope?
It was.
Do you feel something, or it's just like what?
It feels so connected, because you're never gonna be alone. There's always gonna be someone over there, and you see all the people who like really just sit by there, just kind of, it's that peace, and they're doing their thing. They're like letting go of ashes. And they actually do like a little prayer before they let go. You have to sink your feet in all the way, and you have to do like prayer. Then there's a certain way you can let go of the ashes.
What kind of prayer?
It's a prayer. It's a kind of
what do you say?
I'm not entirely sure, because I'm not familiar with the prayer itself, but I know it's because it's also flexible. Remember, it's like the kind of freedom that you have. You can do what you want as long as you fit within that respectful criteria.
Okay.
So as long as you say something along the lines of like, hey, you know, I wish you the best of luck in the afterlife. We loved you and everything else like that. Just a little message.
But you're saying it outward.
No, inward.
Ah.
That's why everybody has it like in their mind, and then they kind of like mumble it if they need to. But nobody is really allowed to hear it, because like wishing well, basically.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there's no actual...
It's to yourself. You don't need another person to hear it. Yeah.
Everybody can do it, and then the head of the family, usually the man.
I also feel like it's all, like in low key. I feel like it's like metaphorical.
It
you know
is.
why? Because like you ever and I experienced this. You ever try like you're excited about something, you tell certain people about it, and then like for some reason that shit doesn't happen, or whatever the fuck.
It
you know
does.
what I mean? Like, and
The
then
more
but when you don't say anything, and you're just like. And then boom, it happens, and then you're like, yeah, motherfucker, this happened, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
that happens,
right?
Yeah,
it's fucking weird, man.
It is weird.
Yeah,
dude, it's just. Like,
I think it has to do with motherfuckers hating on you.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm done with the shit, bro. I'm like, I really like, I hate like that type of annoying, petty ass bullshit energy. Hold on, my bad.
All right. Cut.
Clipped in. So where were we?
Where were we?
My bad, bro. I know a lot of shit just happened, but let it just happen, right?
Oh my God.
Pull up. This is gonna be cool.
real.
This is gonna be dope.
My mind just went blank.
We
We were talking about gods. We were talking about this. We were talking about the prayers, the letting go of everything.
Yes, and then the whole like telling people you shouldn't like hating motherfuckers. Yo, why they be hating? Like, yo, right?
Yeah,
like,
you just don't say it
what
out loud.
is that about, son? No, but you're right though. And so that's interesting because I feel like that's another thing that's interesting. What I find interesting is how certain cultures, certain religions, what their practices do in order to have...
Yo,
Deepak, Katsavelli, Deepak.
what's up, man?
Katsavelli is in the crib. What do you need, bro? You need a table? You want to clear this out? Let me know if you need somewhere to plug in, right? Cause there's oh yeah, you got the portable shit. Yo, bro, thank you for coming through, bro. All right, bet. So, thank you, God, that Katsavelli's here. He's about to clean me up real quick because I need a little cleanup. You feel me? I never had this on the podcast, and yo, bro, I really appreciate you coming through, bro, and thank you for doing this, bro. And Deepak, thank you for being cool with this, bro.
Cool
like,
with
you know what I'm saying? All right, 'cause I was wondering, I was like, damn, like. So I bet. So I have this part in my podcast, right, where I ask the people like that are here. I'm like, yo, is there any question that you can give me that I could like ask people out in the public? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like what?
Like what kind of question?
Any question. I'm gonna take that question and then I'm gonna go out into the street and I'm gonna ask that question. Any question to anyone.
I know what you mean. Damn, there's so many things that you could ask realistically. I'm thinking along the lines of like making a question reality for what it is. So like how much you know about your culture, that sort of thing. In the sense of like kind of make them question themselves, where it's gonna like.
You gotta give me a specific question.
I know. I'm trying to think.
Okay. Because I was like, bro, I can't think of the question for you.
Because you just asked me, right? And I'm just like, damn, yo, I need a minute to think about
All right,
this.
so we could get back into it.
We can get back into it.
Later on, I'll ask you. All right, so, yo, what do you think about how people look at Indians in America? Do you feel like you've ever like faced some type of like prejudice at some type of point in your life?
Never, honestly. I've wondered about that too. Because at this point in today's day and time, everything has just become so mixed up that everybody understands one another. It's like different cultures come in, they intertwine. We got cultural diffusion going on and whatnot. So,
what do you mean by cultural diffusion?
Culture diffusion is just like a mix of different cultures, where everybody kind of like lives together in harmony. So back in the day, America was like this big money maker where everybody would want to go to make money. Right. Just like we discussed earlier, where it's like, hey, $1 is equal to like 89 rupees.
Right.
So, but now it's just kind of like a regular thing. It's like everybody knows what the Western culture is. It's not like isolated anymore because everybody has access to the internet. And that's mainly what's connecting everything else.
So you think that social media played a role to people wanting to maybe just staying where they are instead of going?
Absolutely. Because they realize that, hey, you know what, the grass ain't so green. It's kind of fine. Because you know how we said with like with India and like Spanish, everybody wants to like live together, all the families and this and that.
Right.
So it's just like, do you want to abandon everything that you're having here to chase a dream that may not even come true?
Or come true, but in the stake of what? For what?
For what? What do you sacrifice?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
So I find that very interesting, right? Because like I told you, I'm from Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
And Venezuela at a time was like the America of South America.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about people would go there for work, you know what I mean? Because they had economic resources, mostly because of the oil. But then Venezuela went downhill, bro. Like, I'm talking about to the point that water became more expensive than gas to buy as a person living there, you know what I mean? Like, and to have it go there from a point where, yo, they had such a this, Mama, allá, por favor, allá. For them to have so much like power and control, and then everyone now, a lot of people left Venezuela, you know what I mean? Like, many people left, and that's what people constantly do. We constantly leave, and we go to the next place, and we go to the next place, and it's rare, and it's the same shit here. People like, they'll be in the hood, and then they'll get out of the hood, and then they'll never go back to the hood, and it's just like, nah, fuck that, right? But it's the same concept, you know what I mean? And like, it's rare, and there's rarities that happen when people do go back to try to make things better. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that is something that I learned from being in America. You know, because we all come from a certain place where it's like, it's worse over there. And then we come here expecting it to be better. And then it is in many ways. I do feel like America, like, I saw this on a podcast actually, like Andrew Schultz, shout out Andrew Schultz.
Hey.
He was saying, nah, for real, he was saying, like, you get to be your best self in America. Because in many other countries, you have to just deal with the circumstances of how they live their life, and you have to abide by that certain structure. Here, you have the option of living differently and saying, I don't give a fuck about how you feel about how I live, and you just gotta respect it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's honestly, that is how it is. Different cultures come in, how many cultures are gonna follow, right? Unless you have somebody controlling in your personal life, no one cares. No one cares whatsoever. But over there, the entire culture is like, you're a foreigner here, you're gonna abide by my rules, otherwise you can't get out. Right. The door is open. Over here, do whatever the hell you want, who cares?
You could do whatever you want, but there are, I would say there are rules and structures. They're just all economic based.
Yeah.
They're all just, what are you able to bring to the table? And no one's gonna give a fuck if you don't have any money to back it up.
That's true. If you have money and you have everything, you don't need anything else. That's what people come here for.
Yeah, and to bring it back and to make people even live better in their homeland.
Yeah.
So what's your goal? What's your dream situation? Do you want to stay here in New York, or do you want to go somewhere else in the world?
I want to go elsewhere to visit, you know, kind of like live my life in the sense of like, I've explored everything that I wanted to explore, but I'm happy here.
Yeah.
It is, cost of living is on the rise, right? So if anything, I'll move to maybe a different state where I would still be able to work, function normally, and be happy. But right now, I'm just focusing on my own life, just be like, okay, let's get settled, let's earn whatever I can. Because I'm doing fine right now.
Yeah. And so, that makes you feel like stability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I just aim for stability. Like, I'm not here trying to be like filthy rich or anything like that.
Right.
I'm just like, this is where I grew up on. I love the ability to go to different places within New York and feel like it's a completely different culture. Like, we got China, we got Japan, we got India, we got Spanish, we got white, we got black, we got everything. Yeah,
especially in Queens.
Especially in Queens.
Queens is the most diverse place in the world, bro.
Yeah.
In the world.
In the world.
Put a stamp on it.
Literally just, yo, take your passport within Queens, just put stamps like, oh yeah, I visited this, I visited that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. What is your favorite food that you tried outside of your culture living here in New York City?
That's a good question. I would say halal.
That's your shit?
That is.
That's it.
That's
you got a guy? You got your
I got my guy.
Yeah.
I got the hookups. He's like, bro, extra meat in that.
Yeah. White sauce, barbecue. You fuck with the barbecue white sauce combination? All right, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
I do, man. Yeah. I already know. One line of barbecue, one line of spicy.
Yeah.
A lot of that white sauce, man. Just...
Yo, so I know you were wanting to ask me something about the giraffe, right? Or what? You had a question that you were gonna ask me some shit before. You were like,
I was about the apartment though.
Oh, about the apartment? What about it?
I was just like, how long have you been here?
Oh, I've been here for like 3.5, almost 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's been a while.
And then before that, you lived with your family?
No, before that, I was living somewhere else. I came from like place to place to place to place to place, bro. I've had a wild journey in life, my guy.
Damn.
I'm blessed. And I honestly, I do thank God that I'm given the opportunity to be in a place and like be able to maintain. It's been very difficult. Like, I'm not gonna say it's easy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you know, your boy gets hungry. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And like, you just gotta maintain. You gotta figure it out. I thank God also like for meeting people like Cutzabelli. He's at work right now, right? He's doing his thing, and I appreciate it. But if you know him, you would know how much he's gone through and how much he's been through in his life and said, I'm going to keep on going.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep on figuring it out. I'm never going to stop. And that type of energy you need to have. And I feel like in New York, it cultivates that in you, whether you like it or not. And if you don't, then you out of here. You're going to go somewhere else. You're going to live somewhere else. And that's fine. That's completely okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the longer you stay, it's just all a matter of time.
It is. It really is, dude. If you look at New York compared to any other country, any other state, it's so fast-paced, like incredibly. People are out there chilling, just like, yeah, it's okay. I have like my income, I have this, I have that, and they're just like happy with it. Over here, it's not. It's a different kind of mentality, different kind of hustle.
Yeah.
Because you see, people are just like, the way I look at it is like a line of fire that's chasing you, and that line of fire is called poverty, and then you gotta keep on running in order to avoid it.
That is, I literally see the visuals, and I feel it as well. That shit's burning me right now, bro. She's catching up, bro.
Don't let it catch up, bro.
Nah, I'm talking shit. I'm running, bro. I'm out of here. Fuck it.
Oh my god.
That's some shit.
That's the hustle, man.
Yo, so what is the first? Have you ever had an altercation in New York City? Like, what was the first altercation like for you?
Nothing too specific, to be honest. The craziest experience I had was like in high school, where I was just completely coming from like an innocent little like school, just nothing going on in the world. Like, okay, yeah, cool. And then I was exposed to my high school where they actually had gangs and stuff. And then I just see people have like paintball fights, people just drawing knives on one another. I'm like, okay, cool.
Paintball fights is not bad though.
It's not, but I was like, okay, is this allowed? Like, this is school. Is this allowed? Like this is school. Why is nobody doing anything about it? I was like, dude, oh my god.
Did your school have metal detectors?
Eventually, like 4 years, yeah. And yo, I gotta tell you the craziest story I had.
What?
I usually pack lunch, and I packed this little fruit. I had 4 strawberries with a little fork.
Okay.
I went through the metal detectors. They're like, hey, what's ringing? I'm like, I don't know what's ringing. I don't have anything on me. They go through my entire bag. They pull out the fork. Like, I'm confiscating this.
Dead ass?
As a weapon. I'm like, yo, I was so pissed. I was about to sock this dude in the nose. Like, you did not just confiscate my fork. It's a 2-inch fork.
That's crazy.
Not even a big fork. And with the strawberries, he pulled it out of my lunchbox.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro.
But it is crazy because it is a weapon. But then it's also like, yo, so is the plastic ones.
So
if you think about it, you know what I mean? What, like,
a cafeteria. He took it. The scanners were in the cafeteria, and guess where the forks are? In the cafeteria. Pick one up from right there. I was like, this dude is crazy. So I had to go and talk to like one of the higher up teachers. Be like, yo, this dude just took my fork. He's like, don't worry, I'm gonna get it for you. I'm like, go get it. Like, I don't want his dirty ass, crummy ass hand touching my fork and stuff. I gotta wash that again.
Yo, what are your like views on just like politically? I'm not trying to go too like deep into like what your political views are.
Yeah.
But like what is something that you would like to see in America? You know what I'm saying? Or what do you see in America that is what you coincide with?
I could vouch for this in a very like general basis, and it's just like the fact that U.S. is so diverse, but the acceptance for that diversity could be better.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just like, it's my country, it's this, it's that, and whatnot. A lot of racists, and it's just like, it's kind of sad. Like, let people do what they want to do, as long as it's not hurting anyone. Because they're hustling, you're hustling, just different kind of hustle, different book you're reading.
Right.
Just let them read.
Right. And that's the most American thing, right? If you think about it, it's like let me be me. I'll let you be you.
Pretty much. Be like, leave me alone. Like, you knock on.
But then that's the double-edged sword, though. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have to accept them as well.
You do.
Yeah.
You got no option. But I feel like when you go into somebody's house, and then they feel like, okay, when you're gonna leave though, because you're just a visitor, they can never treat you as their own. So if you come into someone's country, like America, for some people it's like, this is my house, like, why are you coming in as an immigrant? Because all you're going to do is take money from our country and just deliver it over to your country and just ruin the economy. But there's also a bright side of it because they're also helping the economy.
Right.
So it's just like...
Because either way, you can't escape not helping the economy because you still have to eat, right? You still got to, like, function in society.
Pretty much.
You still have to pay taxes. You still have to do it. This is just the money that you and your people have been saving.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yo, why can't you be like, you know, respect that as well?
Pretty much.
Because if I'm not coming at you with what you do with your money, don't come at me with what I do with mine.
But the thing is, like, the money that you have saving up, they expect it to be used within the U.S. But if it's used within a different country, then all that chunk that you have saved up, they're losing within the U.S. So that's what they focus on, but they're not focusing on, like,
Right.
the years it took for them to build that economy that they have, like, with that wealth. And then they pay taxes, they bought food, they bought a lot of things. Like, dude, I supported the economy long enough, like, and you're really gonna bite at that.
I see the point though. Like, and there's also I remember that your point brings up a thought that so when I was in college, right, I had a friend named Nick Jenkins, and he did this study. We had this quantitative and qualitative class. So it's just like we had to take certain like statistics and use it to build an argument. You know what I'm saying? And basically, he came up with the most brilliant idea, and he got an A+ for it, and it was just like amazing. He literally broke down and used math to convey how if we were to make all the immigrants citizens, then that would eradicate our debt in America.
Which is nice.
It's a beautiful thought, but like you know how we're actually gonna put that into
Like,
practice.
yeah.
I'm not sure, but it was interesting. You know what I mean? Because it's like wow, like I guess you do have a point. The thing is that people also have a sense of control by the people that they bring. So I don't know how you feel about this. All the immigrants coming in, right?
Yeah.
Like especially in New York City, you feel the difference, right?
Yeah.
Especially taking the train, like you see, there's so many more people, right? So now, do you feel like they're using them to gain votes later on in the future for a certain political side?
That's very interesting, because if you really look at it, like, everybody just comes with their personal objective, and to be a citizen or not is kind of up to the rules of the country, as well as their ability to pass the citizenship test. You can't just give out citizenship left and right. You have to earn it. So once you do that, like, what you do with it, it kind of benefits both parties. You be a citizen, you could work, you know, a paid salary just like everybody else over here. You don't have to work cash jobs. So politically, it could definitely benefit, but I don't think that's like the main reason, you know, because economically, like, they would definitely be able to help out a lot more because they would pay taxes if you're not a citizen. But if you're politically looking at it, then the votes will definitely help, because if you know your stuff, that's what you need to do in order to pass the citizenship test. You can vote after that, because it's like, you know about the history, you know about this, you know about what's going on with the country.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, it can definitely help. It can shift ties. But if I'm sure that if they see that, hey, you know, there's an imbalance that's being created because all these people are coming in, they're able to vote. It's just like, this America isn't what it used to be or what we want it to be. Because if you look at every single president, they've been white up until Barack Obama, who's the first black president.
Yeah.
So there's a consistency over there.
Right.
Immigrants have no preference. They're just like, who's good, who's not. They're going to look at personality. They're not
Right.
going to look at color.
Yeah.
So if they want to oppress every other race, then they're not going to let them vote. Or they're going to be tougher with the citizenship test, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what they're aiming for.
But they are tough on the citizenship.
They are.
Yeah. You know? Do you know?
But I don't know.
There was this guy, I think I saw like on YouTube. He was asking people in the street the questions that they asked them. And a lot of people couldn't answer it, who were citizens already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to answer it.
Right.
Because they have to study for it, just like a
Right.
test. And it's like, how many jurisdictions do you have? How many this and how many that? Like, what branches? And it's like, I don't know.
Right.
Like, I studied this like in 6th grade. I didn't study this for like when I was like
Yesterday.
older. Yeah, yesterday, or have been studying for
Right.
it. And even the citizens today who took that test, got the citizenship, like, I don't remember it. Like, it was just temporary. It's like 50 questions or so, 100 questions that you go through.
Right.
They're simple questions, but you have to know a lot about it.
Well, do you have the question?
What you want to ask on the street?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would like to ask the immigrants, what brings you to this country? Because we are talking relatively. I think that would be very interesting. Like, you get to hear a lot of backstories of people, and you got to hear a lot of like different goals that people have, you know.
But then, all right. I'm gonna try to do that because I try to find someone that can speak English, right? Because that's also the part. Because if it's Spanish, then I have to ask in Spanish, and you're not gonna understand it. You know what I mean? Like, but all right, I'm gonna ask that right now. ¿Por qué viniste a Estados Unidos?
Por tener un mejor futuro y darle una mejor vida a mis padres.
Mejor vida a tus padres?
Claro.
Okay, gracias. And we're back.
Awesome.
So, let me pose that question to you. What would bring you to this country?
Looking at it from like pretending like I wasn't born here, so looking at it from like the outside, honestly, it's the ability to exercise your own freedom and to do what you want. To be able to have your own life, your own way of living, and not be bothered by anybody else or somebody like forcing their opinions down your throat. There's a system over here which I love. If something happens, this happens, that happens, you call the cops, they'll take care of it willy-nilly. I'm not saying that that's like the most fair thing that they do, but it is an option. It's something that keeps the balance within this country. And that's personally what I would say. Be like, you know what? I just want to be at peace, and this is a country that can do that.
I agree with you, man. I think that there's a constant ebb and flow of chaos that is shoved down our throats through the media and through other people's inflictions that they put upon themselves, that we're in constant limbo.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, there's certain moments that some people are just like, nah, fuck it, I'm not gonna live like that. You could live like that.
Yeah.
And then, but throughout history, it's always gonna be conveyed as, oh, this was the time period, the Great Depression, and this is when, you know, but who knows how the fuck they were really living at in that time, because in 100 years from now, they're probably gonna say this is the second Great Depression.
Yeah. And the crazy part is just like how I entered, even though I was like born and raised over here. If you asked Americans this, like if you were not born here, if you were an immigrant, what would bring you to this country, and what do you bring to this country? That kind of thing. And then
I like that second question more, because it's like, yeah, what do you bring? Because a lot of people always want to be like, oh, what can you offer me? Well, what can you bring?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you're right, man. Nah, it's so true, yo. Because it's a lot of like, I want, but what are you like? What are you providing in it? Yeah.
They're gonna be like, like I just want.
I got me.
I got my family. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. That's very true.
I provide for my family.
That's very true. But I guess the human spirit in general is a lot to provide, right?
Yeah.
Because we have the ability to change. We have the ability to grow. We have the ability to conquer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the fact that combined with a little bit of opportunity, it does make sense, man. It's just a lot of people need more time to catch up with like reconciling and just accepting, you know, why certain things are the way they are.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why everybody's different. Everybody's gonna have a different answer. And some people know exactly what they're providing. It's not just about take. It's also about what you give. It's a balance that you have to maintain. A lot of people would be like, am I supposed to give? I didn't know that. That's going to be crazy.
Well, it's also like circumstance, right? Nah, but it is true. Like, people, a lot of times they want and they're not willing to put their effort into the pot.
Yeah.
You know? But I think also in time, and the fact that it isn't how it was 50 years ago. And 50 years ago, it wasn't like how it was before that.
No.
And there's always a change that's going on. And I feel like people at the end of the day do come together, yo.
They do.
Yeah, because they're tired of seeing the bullshit. And they're tired of seeing just the continued, always same cycle of people conquering and taking over shit.
Yeah.
And not giving. Yeah. What, do you feel that America's going down or up?
It has its fluctuations, honestly. It's never gonna go down, realistically. Like, America is like a powerhouse. It has so much capability of generating wealth, so much things that it could offer to people. It's just gonna take a lot for it to go down. Like, even in like a worldwide power, um, we're like the top five. I think it's top there or something. Where we're like a powerful nation that can kind of like, if we wanted to conquer different countries to increase our wealth, kind of like upbring our economy, we can. Very easily.
So you don't think China's taking over?
Not at the moment.
No?
Not at the moment. I mean, China has been China, you know.
China's been China.
China's been China in the sense, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess it's the kind of like economy and everything else that they provide for the people that's different from over here because China's so widespread and so affordable. It's mostly the difference. Okay, when you look at made in US versus made in China, there's a huge difference. The value of made in US is a lot higher than made in China, even if we're in US, right? So usually at the production, like at the crop, if you get that made in China, the value is not that much because you're like, I just picked it up at the farm, like it cost me 2 cents.
Right.
And if you apply that same rule over here to US, I still picked it up at the farm, but it's still valued a lot more because it's how everything came together, right? If you look at the economy in a sense, like what you asked, like if it's going down or going up, it's going up. It's gonna continue going up. If it does go down, it's always gonna be able to function and go up again because it has that inherent value.
I think also that there's too many hands in the pot.
There is. Yeah.
There's too many countries making money off of America. You know, like why wouldn't they want it to keep going?
There's a lot of trades going on, a lot of allies and whatnot. So even right now, like how France had like something going on, you know, a lot of things that happened, like with the
What do you mean?
people dying and stuff like that. Like we were supportive of that.
Oh,
So-
during that time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of fake shit. Also, to be honest with you, bro, I think that's kind of fake shit because people just go like, there's a lot of herd mentality.
Yeah.
And there's not much people that go beyond the herd mentality. And I'm not saying that that it was a bad thing. It was a good thing to be a part of. But like, is it just because of the hype, or is it because, like, you know, you really want to help? But maybe I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because whether people want to do it because they want to help or they don't, it's still doing the same thing.
That's right.
Causing attention and building at least some type of pool, some type of network to provide change
Yeah. Absolutely.
on some shit.
But you know, no matter what it is, like nobody wants to feel left out. Right?
That too. But I feel like you also gotta like grow up, and nah, for real, yeah. Cause like people, you know, they don't want to be left out. But like, there's also, I don't know, man. There's so much to learn from the bad moments in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Feel left out. Be alone. Handle your shit. Go meditate. You know what I mean? Like, come back to reality. Face it. You know? Like, what, you're gonna cry every single time that you're gonna be left out or something? Like, that's not gonna be good for you. That's not gonna be good for your mental health.
It's not.
If you wanna take it there. If you wanna take it to the mental health
Hey.
perspective. But that's interesting, man. Yo, what would you tell to your younger self?
There's a lot that I feel like I would tell, and mostly it's just positive because everybody's gone through their own battles, and for me, I know my struggle better than anybody else, and I'm just proud of my younger self to do exactly like you said. You know, you can go ahead, meditate, you could do this, you could do that, calm yourself, just face it at the end of the day, because the obstacle is still going to be there. So I just want to say that, you know, I'm proud of my younger self for being able to have the courage to face it. Because it wouldn't have evolved me to be who I am today. Because I'd still be scared of that one thing. It could be as simple as, like, if you're scared of cats or dogs. I was scared of cats, personally.
Really? Yeah, cats are kind of like low-key, though.
Yeah, cats are like, you know, in the cat family with the lions and everybody else. And I never really, like, got too close with the cat And then I heard stories like, oh, they clawed, they scratched the cat owners, just showing their marks, like, yeah, this is what my cat did to me, but I still love her and whatnot. And then I was like, dude, no, cats are terrifying. Like, they could leap at you and do this and that, and they pounce. I'm like, no. But what broke my fear was, like, I just stood still and a cat came to me. And then, like, purred. It was, like, all up over my legs and everything. I was just trying to just get me to pet her. But I was just like, you know what? Let me breathe. Let me not run away. Let me just face it. This is an opportunity that came to me. You have to understand when opportunities come. You have to recognize it.
Yeah.
And just be grateful that, you know what, now that is eliminated.
That's just cool, right?
It is, yo, that's crazy.
You got the gadgets.
Yeah. How far does he travel to come to you?
I mean,
Where you at?
I am like Florida Park. I'm far.
Yeah, I come over there.
What?
I live in Flushing, not too far.
Oh, wow. Damn, okay, cool.
Take my information down from.
that's my guy. That's my guy.
That's
Yo, he'll clean you up.
awesome,
Like,
bro.
yo, I'm telling you. And you know what's dope about him? Is like, he really fits with your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
I go to other barbers and they'll just like do the repeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you just did what you just did to him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what kind of fade do you want, bro?
right.
Ah, that's nice. Yeah, I actually
Right.
moved into Flushing like
Yeah?
last week.
Oh, you're in Flushing?
Yeah, now.
Okay, dope.
That's
what's
like
up.
even better.
How you like it?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude, everything's so accessible.
Really? Really? Oh shit, bro. Thank you. Let me see this.
Hey.
My guy, bro. Thank you, bro.
You can never feel left out if you know who you are when you let in. Does that make sense?
I kind of get what you're saying.
You can never
Like,
feel left out
if you know yourself, right?
if you know who you are within.
Yeah. That's true.
That's a fact.
See what I'm saying? You
That
go
is a
anywhere,
fact. That's a
alone,
fact.
With
Up, up.
nobody,
Up.
make friends
up.
anywhere, because you know who you are within.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
you can
fact,
never
bro.
be left out.
That's the first step.
That's a
You
fact,
have to
yo.
identify yourself.
That is
you
a
can walk
fact.
into a club by yourself.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
should have the most amazing time
I do that all the time.
because you know who you are within, so you're never left out.
Right.
You're only left out when you don't know who you are within.
Yeah.
You only seek validation from outside.
Yeah.
You know what's
Everything you're
true.
doing is to seek outside validation. So you're gonna always feel left out
Yeah.
when you don't receive that.
You're right. You're
But
right.
when
Yeah.
you know who you are within and you're happy with yourself, you never feel
Yeah,
left
you're
out.
talking about being fulfilled. Just be
Yeah.
like, I'm happy to be me. Like, I don't need you. I don't need you to
So
do
you can
this
never
and
feel
that.
left out.
Yo, my guy.
That's
You
awesome.
want to tell me?
Yeah. Just let me know. Just text me.
Last time.
I bet.
I'll go, yo, good podcast.
Yo, thank you, bro. You're the man, bro. For real. Súbete. Arriba. Yo, by the way, wait. Come back real quick. Shout out your IG in the camera, but in the
Yeah.
No cuts of belly in here. My IG cuts gods.
You heard?
GLD.
He's the
Ah.
man.
Get the money, yo.
bro.
Cuts we trust, baby.
And cause we trust, bro. Oh, you leave me hanging, bro? What's good?
Ah.
There we go.
Yo,
All right.
appreciate you, bro.
You too, bro. Keep it real. That's dope, man.
OD, bro.
Don't forget to tell me, bro.
Yo, bro, come on, man.
Man.
Come on, bro.
He making
Text
me-
me that.
Keep making you question.
This guy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Come on.
That was
Like, I'm not
crazy.
gonna tell you.
Yo, he's like, bro.
Yo, all right. So, you went to St. John's?
Yeah.
Word? How was that?
Expensive.
Yeah, I can
It
only
was
imagine.
Beautiful, beautiful campus. Like,
Yeah.
being on there was just like, I could live here.
Wow.
But the food was garbage.
Garbage?
Yeah, food was-
Expensive in garbage? That's the bullshit. You're not gonna give me fucking some bullshit
Yo.
and I gotta pay top dollar for it? That's fucking crazy.
Yo, you know how Subway's like eat fresh? It's
Yeah.
like, no, it's like last night's junk that just gave it to you. That's what it felt like.
Oh, man.
I had it a couple
You can't
of
go wrong
times.
with a Subway sandwich every now and then. Or you
I haven't
don't
had
fuck with
Subway.
them.
Dude, I worked
I
at
haven't
Subway.
had Subway in a long time too, but I remember back in the day, every now and then I had one, and I was just like, man, this fucking did me
When you
good.
toasted just
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
it's-
Toasted,
oh.
though. I need the toast.
Yo, now they come up with like a foot-long cookie. I'm like, bro, diabetes?
Foot-long. Oh, word! Oh, I see what you're saying. Yo, everything is a lot of sugar. It's a lot of sugar. But I also feel like within your culture, there's not much taking too much of that, right? I feel like Chinese, Indian people, they're very like predominantly very skinny, right? Like they eat right. They eat right. They keep lean, right? Like it's more like I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of fat people.
There is.
There is?
Because
Oh, shit.
what we put on our rotis, that's like our main dish,
Okay.
is fat.
Okay.
Because we put butter, we put something called ghee with our food
Mm-hmm.
and culture. It's definitely packed with sweets, packed with fat. Because it's funny because the skinny people over there are very skinny.
But then the fat people are super fat.
They're not
Okay.
obese actually.
Okay.
They're still pretty like broad shouldered,
Okay.
like, big on the hips and everything else.
It's like a healthy hunky.
It's a healthy hunky. I like that.
It's a healthy hunky.
It is, but you know, anytime because we're very like cultural and spiritual and all that. Anytime something good happens, you have a baby, you're getting married, it's your birthday.
Okay.
Congratulations! You have to distribute sweets, like a box of sweets to everybody that you know. It's expensive.
Yeah.
So what people
It's expensive.
It is because you gotta go, especially have them made.
Right.
Everything has to be fresh. Because if you taste it, you don't want to give bad sweets to someone.
Right.
So you gotta be there. Yeah, and then they make it in front of you, which is cool. And then they're like, okay, you just wait. Like, okay, half a pound of this, half a pound of that. Technically, it's like kg, but like half a kg of this, half a kg of that. And they make it right then and there. Or you could have it specially made, or you could buy like Starbucks if you don't have enough time. But you have it wrapped up. You give it as like a present. Like, hey, you know, this is going on, and then people eat. People eat a lot of sweets, and it's crazy. And most of our sweets, the thing is, it's not like pure sugar. It's made of milk. It's made of like something called besan, which is kind of like the whole wheat family of sweets. If you want to look at it that way, it's a healthier version. It's healthier version.
How is it healthier?
It's like it's kind of like instead of using like white flour, you use like brown flour.
Okay.
That kind of healthy, where it's not as bad, I could say. And then it's not as refined, and then they put a little bit of like nutrients and stuff like that because they have nuts and everything else. So not just like bad things are going in, also good things. So that kind of balance.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not just like a sugary treat, like leaving a lollipop type of thing.
Yeah.
And dude, there's kind of addicting.
Really?
Because people who do get addicted to it are just like, that's amazing. I can have it.
All the time. Is it like baklava a little bit?
Very. I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. But it's not. It's really not. Because they're made of milk. Baklava is made like, it's more flaky. But it's still sweet. Because they just had sweet over it, right? But with that, it's like inherently sweet. It's not sweet in the sense of like sugary sweet. It's just like a hint of sweet, so to speak. Okay. It depends on what kind of... they're called burfies. Burfi is the name for sweet. Okay. And then there's just like all kinds of burfies that you can get. Right. All made with different kinds of things. Some are even made with like turmeric. And turmeric is healthy.
Yeah, very healthy for you.
And imagine making sweet out of turmeric.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Huh. All right. What is? Can you? I'm sure you can handle spices, right? Or no?
To an extent.
Okay.
The funniest thing that ever happened, if I ever experienced like racism, this came the closest to it.
Damn, was that racist that I said that?
No.
Okay.
It was stereotypical.
All right, my bad. I'm sorry. Because I'm just asking, because like I feel like every Indian I've ever met, like they handle their spices mad good, bro. Like I'm like, damn. And I tried Indian food, and that shit made my fucking ass go on fire, bro.
It's just like Mexican food, bro.
Crazy.
Dude,
nah, I'm good with Mexican food.
You're for whatever reason, like dude,
that's crazy.
American spice is like sour.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like sweet and sour. If you go to American, it's like hot sauce. It's more like just like, what is this? It's like a little tangy. It's not really hot. But when you try Mexican food, like real Mexican food, and then you try like real Indian food, it's like they put red chilies and ghost pepper. Not ghost pepper, but like you get that feeling. It's like, oh my God, it's insane. So the closest thing that I was sharing with you was I went to a pizza place, and then they were like, okay, this is buffalo chicken, this is that. I was like, how spicy is buffalo chicken? And then, because I see like red lines on it too, I'm like, damn, that looks pretty spicy. Yeah. They're like, aren't you Indian? Can't you handle spicy? I was like, yo, what you mean? Nah,
see, but like it is. I'm sorry, bro. It's just like that is like the first thought you think about, because it's like,
because you're so used to it. Right? You're used to thinking like that you.
No, because I fucking tried Indian food and my fucking asshole was on fire. And I'm like, you guys eat this shit all the time like it's nothing? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, word. And I'm like, word.
You're used
so that's
to
why
it.
it wasn't, I guess, a stretch for me to say every Indian.
I mean,
can
I'm
handle it.
American, born and
Right,
brought up,
right.
so I can't. I wish I could, honestly, and I've kind of tried to, but my tongue is on fire, dude. I can't.
It's intense.
I went to. Oh, I could tell my experience.
And it's already hot there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
It
like,
is.
you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. It's like, dude, hot outside, hot inside. No worries. No, it doesn't matter. So I can tell you my experience. I, as an Indian, went to India after 10 years. Right? I did not go to India because I was just studying over here, doing everything else. And then I go to India, and then I go to this wedding. And at wedding, you know, they cook food, they have everything else. It's prepared for all the Indians.
The weddings are like intense, right? It's
Weddings
days long, right? Like type thing. Yeah.
It's intense. It's like wedding's like the biggest thing you can have in your life, so to speak. For me, I don't really care. Just sign the paper, I'm married. Like, like I don't really care because it's so expensive.
Yeah, but it's not for you.
It's not.
It's for her.
It's for
I'm talking shit. And the family, right?
and the guests.
Yeah, no.
Like-
especially in Indian weddings. I'm sorry. Like, I'm trying to make it American weddings. Not American weddings, right? Like, but not right. It's all about the family. They come together. Like it's like a whole thing.
It's
right?
a bonding.
Yeah. But that's another. That's what I mean. It's like your family stays together. Your family stays together. They really stay
Always.
together. Yeah.
The people get offended personally if you didn't invite them, or like, why didn't you invite my so and so? Like, it's like, dude, I spoke to them once in
One
my
time,
life.
yeah.
Like, I don't mind inviting everybody, but you
Yeah.
know, with every person comes the expense of maintaining. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, but I'm not paying for you. You
Right.
pay for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that would be nice. A lot of people do donate like on weddings because they understand, but mostly like close relatives. It's called a shagun. So shagun is like this little decorated envelope. You
Bro,
put
I
money-
was like, is this Naruto right now? Like, what's going on?
Right?
That sounds so
Japanese.
cool, yeah.
It's a fancy envelope.
Okay.
You just throw it at people like shuriken. But you put like money inside of it. Usually you put like something in 1 rupees, because that 1 rupee symbolizes like good wealth, or like the bad eye can't see or something. Because if you put just 100 and you give that someone, they're like, why did you just give me 100? You should give me 101. Something like that, you know.
And we're back. I need to use the bathroom. All right? It is what it is.
Nature calls.
Nature fucking calls, man. Except I got a toilet this time. So, yo, what is something that you would say brings joy to your life that doesn't involve money?
So many things. First thing, reading. Second
Yeah?
thing, going out. Yeah.
What do you read? What kind of stuff do you read?
Fantasy.
Oh, you like that? Okay, like
I love reading fantasy. And
Okay.
mostly I love reading when I'm on a subway or on
Oh,
a
yeah?
bus.
like in motion.
In motion.
Okay.
Because I need to feel like the physical presence of like your life is moving, your life is going somewhere. Because if you just sit in one spot and you read, lately I've not been able to do that. As a kid, when you were required to do that for like your summer vacation, it was something like you had to read 25 books and stuff. I would be like, okay, cool, I have to get this done, so let me go ahead and get this done. But now it just feels like, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. You know, it's a weird feeling, even like gaming, where I could be making money right now. I could be doing this. I could be doing that. That kind of like little inner voice that you have. But if you alleviate that, it just makes me so happy. Or if I feel like, you know what, I'm doing well. Like I could sit down, I could do this, and then you get lost in the game. Ooh, one of my favorite games is like Skyrim. I grew up.
But technically, that game costs money.
It does.
So something that doesn't cost money, and technically, I guess that book costs money too, if you're thinking about it, because you have to buy the book. So it's something that doesn't cost money.
Sitting outside by the lake.
That's your shit. Just meditating. Do you meditate for real or not?
Not like that. I just like to sit and listen to the birds. That's meditation for me.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, bro.
Right.
No, meditation.
crazy.
Yeah, how my mind works?
Yeah.
Fucking wild, I know, right? But like, this is some weird shit, bro. So another story of mine. I've shared this on the podcast before, but I think it's just such an interesting thing. Okay, that's the picture. All right, so let me just give you the breakdown first, and then I'll show you this picture. So I read somewhere that if you go somewhere that's difficult to get to, awkward to be in, and if you meditate there, that you could jumpstart an OBE. Do you know what an OBE is? It's
Like
an
a
out of
state of
body
mind.
experience.
Yeah.
So like I've heard of this, and I'm like, like I meditated before, but it was always just so like intro perspective type of thing. Like I'm inside of me. Like I didn't know that the point of meditation is to not have a single thought.
Yeah.
And then I learned, I'm like, oh, okay, so like I gotta try not to have any thoughts. All right, I found a spot in Central Park. It was like this man-made looking type of waterfall, and there was these 2 gates. And it was like I had to hop over the 2 gates, and it was snow, like it was wintertime. It was like snow everywhere at the time. And so it was difficult to get up this thing. It was awkward too because there's people passing by and shit. So I finally got up there and I meditate. And I'm like, all right, let me not think of anything. And then I started literally seeing, bro, like at whatever time, but I started seeing this purple skies, 1 mountain, 1 flower on top of that mountain. And I was not on drugs. Okay? Just, I want to put that out there. Completely sober. Now, I'm flying around this fucking mountain, looking at this single flower on top of this 1 mountain, and I'm like looking at this purple skies, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, damn, this is like a nirvana. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like amazing. When I come back to reality, right? This is the part that is interesting. So this tree was calling out to me. I'm like, why is this tree calling out to me? You know what I mean? Like, it's mad weird. What I mean by calling out to me is like, like it was like saying, come here. Like, you know what I mean? For like, out of all the trees, 1 specific tree.
Gotcha.
I go up towards that tree. All over this tree, bro, was 2 eyes closed, 1 eye open, bro.
This is the actual tree?
That's the actual tree. You want to see the creepy
You
part?
want to show this to the camera?
I'm going to clip it in. I've clipped it in before. But look how peaceful the 2 eyes closed look, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it's resting, bro. It looks like, you know what I mean? Like a spa day, right? Like, or like I'm chilling. This is my rest day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Right? Right? Look at the 1 eye open. So years later, I show my sister this, and she noticed something in the eye that I've never seen before. And that bugged me the fuck out, bro. And I'm going to show you right now. So, what do you see when I zoom in, bro?
I see. Honestly,
let me see if you see it before I say it.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, let me see.
I'm gonna tell you right now though, this would be the look at it this way. I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
You see the 2 eyes, the nose and the mouth screaming?
Oh my God. That's
trippy as fuck, right?
Jesus. Okay. If you had, oh my God. You know, I was looking at it, I was like, dude, I see the pupil in the middle.
Yo, right? It looks more of it looks like an actual eye too,
like
right?
Actual eye.
It looks like an actual eye, right? But then when you look at it that way, don't you fucking see that shit?
I do.
Isn't that creepy, bro? And this is real life, bro. So now get this. I'm looking at this shit, and this was years later that I'm speaking to my sister about it, and she's noticing it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, whoa, that shit, like, psh, right? Because what does that tell you? What does this tell you? What does that speak to you? If this was art, what does that speak to you?
Honestly, the way I would look
out of that experience,
yes.
What I've just told you, what I just went through in that time period.
Exactly.
What does that speak to you?
Close your eyes. Forget about the world. If you open your eyes, you're...
You got it, my friend. You fucking got it, bro. You fucking got it, bro. Do you want to know everything? Do you really want to know everything?
You don't.
I do, because I'm a crazy motherfucker. But, most people really want to know everything? No. Just keep your eyes closed. Just keep your eyes closed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's much more peaceful.
Dude, this is so beautiful and
creepy. But crazy, creepy, weird. Yeah, bro. And it's real. It's real. That shit happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, whoa. Like, what's life about?
Oh my God.
I know. So that came from meditation. You know what I mean? So that's why I respect certain cultures, and that's why I respect certain.
Oh my God, dude. You saw purple, you saw a mountain, you saw one flower.
Yeah.
What if that flower manifested from this tree?
What do you mean?
In the sense of just like, that flower was like calling out to you. That's the actual thing that's calling out to you.
Okay.
And then this tree was the real life replica of that flower.
Because it was just one.
And then it's like what's inside of the tree is that flower. It's still alive, but it's like the soul kind of calling in. You know, now I'm at peace, but if you open, like, be careful.
Yeah.
Because it's on a mountain, it can see
Right.
everything. It's omniscient.
Oh shit! Yo, you went deeper. You went deeper. Oh shit! That's dope. Dope. I see what you're saying. All-seeing eye type shit.
All-seeing eye.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of power.
It's a lot of power.
It's a lot of power.
That's the thing, because it has the power. It showed you the way.
Type shit.
That's why you had that experience.
But that's all right. So this is the inner works of why I want you here, and this is also the inner works of like why I find it all interesting,
Talk
right?
to me.
Yeah, because like I also believe in how Christians believe in God as well, in the aspect of like Jesus Christ and like what He's done, and because there was a lot of like people who literally wrote down that they saw him, you know what I mean? Like there's evidence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's certain things that I find interesting within it all. Because everything, if you think about it, even if you think about pyramids were created in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
Maybe different forms, ziggurats,
Yeah.
regular pyramids, but still like a pyramid, you know what I mean? And like, they didn't know each other. It's not like they had fucking Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, check out my pyramid, bro. This ain't shit. Mine's connecting with Orion. What's this connected with? You know what I mean? Like, or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but then you're thinking about it, and it's just like, all right, so if that's the case, then that would be the similar case for religion as well.
Yeah.
But it's all rooted back to the same source. So it's like, okay, I was able to have that experience meditating, which I would say is more so a practice from Hinduism. But then I also had an experience with Christians where I felt literally overwhelmed by God. And that's a different story, where I was going to and you want to hear this?
Absolutely.
All right, so like I was going to this spot, and I've said this story before too, but I want to play it all together because I find it all interesting. You know what I mean? Like the fact that, okay, I was able to have this feeling and intense experience through a practice that was, if you look at it, comes from Hinduism, right? Meditation, if you think about it, right?
Well,
or no?
technically it comes from Buddhism.
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 All right, talk your shit, bro.
Hinduism came from Buddhism. So.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's put that together. Thank you for that.
For it.
All
Absolutely.
right. So it does derive from a different culture either way.
Yeah.
It doesn't derive from Christianity. Christianity just don't like be like, oh, let's meditate, bro. You know what I mean? It's like let's pray,
Otherwise,
right?
they would meditate in the church.
Type shit. So then with this, that gives me conviction to say that, wow, I had this strong, intense experience with this type of culture. And then I've also had this strong, tense feeling with this, which I'm about to explain to you right now, the story. So I was going to Forest Hills with this girl that I knew at the time, and we were going to smoke. You know what I mean? I smoke weed. And at this spot, like, it's always hard to get parking there. Always. And it was raining that day. And I'm like, like who knows? But let's just go here because I want to smoke to this spot. It was like underneath some shit, so we could go. It was chill. It was nice. And when we got there, there was parking right away. So it was like, like that never happens. We got lucky. I was like, yeah. And it was right underneath. So we were, so the car wasn't even getting like wet. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. You know what I mean? It was
Really
perfect
lucky.
parking. Yeah. And it was right next to the spot. Wow. So we go to the spot, chilling, smoking, da-da-da-da. There's like this homeless guy there and like a couple other like people. And the reason why I say homeless because he obviously looked homeless. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind.
And like there was these two girls that came. One was a black girl and one was a white girl. And not that it matters, but it's just like I'm just telling you like how it looked like. You know what I'm saying? And then like they come through with food. And they're like, oh, they give the food to the homeless guy, and they're like, oh, does anyone else want food? And they're like, we're like, no, we're okay, it's okay, da-da-da. And then they're like, oh, okay, we're Christian missionaries from California, and, we're coming around, just giving thanks to people and saying if they want a prayer. And they're looking around, they're asking if anyone wants a prayer. I'm like, all right, I'll take the prayer. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I am, bro. Like, if something random happens like that,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's good, it's positive, like there's no like weird energy.
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, bet, I'm down. So then it happened. She started like saying the prayer, and it was like regular. It was like, you know, we want to send these prayers out to, because they asked me who do I want to send the prayers out to. I said my family in Venezuela. And then they're like, all right, so we want to send these prayers out to Axel's family in Venezuela and to him to make sure everything's going to be, and then out of nowhere, bro, I didn't understand it. It was like they were like speaking in tongue. And I was like, I've heard of that expression before when someone says, oh, they're speaking in tongue. But I never like experienced it. Now, this is a random ass situation, right? I didn't expect this shit at all.
Of course.
Now, literally, while she was saying it, I didn't understand it really, right? I started to feel this intense ass feeling, like this power coming over me, bro. It felt like it could kill me. It felt like it could kill me, but it didn't. Like it gave me the grace of living. Like that's how it felt like, you know? And then I felt this wild emotion running through me, like people are gonna die and it's okay. And then, bro, I just started crying, started bawling, bro. And then I hugged her and I said like, you know, thank you. But then I had to go because it was just so intense. It was like, yo, bro, like it was intense. I was like, oh shit, like this is real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't expect that to go down that way. But then but now looking back, I'm saying to myself, okay, people want to say this religion's right, this religion's right. But yo, I had those two separate experiences that were both completely different, but also very real to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it just makes me think like, yo, maybe we all right. Maybe we all right. You know, we're all right, and like, our brains are so powerful that when you get enough people together to believe so much that they are right, it becomes even more real.
Yeah. That's how cultures are created. You just get a group of people, believe in one thing, and then just keep adding on.
Yeah, but the fact that it becomes real, not like, you know what I'm saying? Like these are two separate experiences. I'm not the type of person to say, oh, I'm this religion or I'm that religion. At all, but I've dabbled and then still gathered that experience.
Yeah.
That's what makes it more interesting to me, because there is something real there.
There is something like
very fucking real. Like, and it's so like woof.
The best part is that it was not expected. So nobody can hold you accountable. Like, yeah, I was looking for this, you know.
Right.
How you look for paranormal, and you're like, oh, that move, I know that's paranormal.
Well, I guess I was looking for an OBE though.
Oh.
Because that out of body experience. Because I heard that I heard that if you do it that specific way, so I did it that specific way with the intent of having it.
But
so technically with that I did.
But then technically, like, you can't just turn it on and be like, yeah, I'm gonna have it out of body.
Yeah, no, you're right. You can't decide if it's gonna happen or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a fact. That is a fact.
That is a fact.
You could say, all right, I'm gonna try it, but it doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
Dude, I've broken out in cold sweat while I was sleeping. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Wow.
But my experience was not positive.
Talk to me about it.
Oh my god. There's the first experience I've ever had was like demonic, and it was when I was laying down on a bed. And this is like a nightmare that I have labeled roller coaster bed or roller coaster sleep. And here's what happened. I was laying down. Usually I sleep on my side, but I was laying down. I was so tired. In the middle of the bed, I was flat on my back. And then I was just like looking up. I was like, okay, fine. I'm sleeping. And then after that, I just felt like my body's moving. I'm like, why is it moving? What's going on? And I felt this upward push. And then this upward push kind of didn't stop and just kept going and going. I was like, okay, well, I'm trying to open my eyes, but I'm not able to see anything. I just feel everything. And then all of a sudden, as it goes up and up and up, the entire time the bed is horizontal. It's horizontally rising up with me, and I feel the bed beneath my spine. And it was so real because I felt like somebody's picking up my bed.
Yeah.
And then it went up, and then stopped. Just a split second. And then it came down and then just went up and down and left and right. And I was trying to move my limbs. Nothing would move.
Whoa.
And I was like, what's going on?
You're like paralyzed?
Yeah.
Damn. Isn't that sleep paralysis?
Yep, that's what it was.
Oh, shit.
That's what I experienced. I didn't
That's
want to give it away.
as fuck.
I don't want to give it away, but that's what happened. I experienced sleep paralysis twice in my life.
And you think that's like some demonic shit because it feels like it's some intense, overwhelming thing that you can't even. So,
but that's not even the end of it. That's not even like scratching the surface.
Continue.
Because the way it ended frightened me, and the bed went up, the bed went down, and went all the way around. The entire time, it was so weird because in a roller coaster, you feel wind, you feel everything. The only thing I felt was a pressure beneath my spine, beneath my arms, beneath my legs, pushing me up, lifting me sideways. No wind.
Wow.
Whatsoever. It was just dead, and it was so dark. And what it felt
That's crazy.
like, what it actually felt like was like, imagine a train track, or like roller coaster track, in a dungeon, like a cave dungeon, and it's specially crafted for this and this alone. And then it went up and went this and then that. It lasted what felt like for a minute. And then finally it came down very, very slowly, just like it was in the beginning. And then finally decided to...
I see why you say it's a roller coaster.
It is. And then it was like, okay, all of a sudden, like, it's stopped. Like, it was coming to a halt. But then it was, like, going down. You could hear the creaking, when you turn the clock backwards, like the little creaking sound that the roller coasters also make.
Right.
That's what you can hear, tick, 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 tick,
wow.
as it's going. And I was like, okay, finally I hear something, right? I still can't see anything. But then just, like, if you go down, like, a hallway, and then it's, like, closed off in a hallway, and it's, like, a dungeon. And then you see brick walls on the side, and then the way I was able to see it was down deep, like in the hallway, you see torches on either side, and then those torches lit up dungeon walls, and they were brick walls that were like dark gray, and it just felt cold. It just felt like, it did. And then it just felt colder as I got deeper in, even though the torches were there and they're fire. But I saw 6 torches, 2. And then as I got deeper, all of a sudden, and then I saw 2 more. And then I saw 2 more. And it was weird because it's not like the torches just like lit up in front of me. It was more like they faded in all of a sudden, like within my vision. Like it's so weird because it's like...
Like as you pass by it.
No, yeah, exactly. It was like 10 feet away. And I was like, why wasn't I able to see light 20 or 50 feet away?
Because you are the light.
Kind of.
In that, like, you know what I mean? In that aspect of things, because that is the darkness.
Yeah, and so then, like, I'm like, lighting it up.
Right, in a way, yeah, if you think about it, right? Like, it's every, can you say every baby is an evil baby?
No.
Innocent child, right? Like, evil is weird, right? Because, like, what is evil?
Yeah.
And how is it obtained? Is it circumstance? Is it inherent? And if it's inherent, then or even if it's created, either way, it's just always going to be here. Yeah. So there's always a balance of it. But I would also say, it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier, that it's different for everybody. What I may consider evil may not be evil to somebody else, and vice versa.
But wait till you hear the end of this, and then this is what broke me down into cold sweat, complete panic.
So you're going down the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's up to the 10 torches, because you passed 6 and then 2.
6 torches.
All together was 6.
It was just like, 2, 2, and then 2.
Oh,
and
okay.
After the 2, that's when the bed finally stopped. For the first time in what felt like an eternity.
Oh, shit.
Bed finally stopped. And then the last 2 torches were lighting up something very, very dim. 6 in total, and then those torches were just barely lighting up somebody's feet, and it was...
You don't know the feet?
It was weird. It was just like...
Was it ugly feet?
It was...
Just asking.
No, it was black. It was like darkness. Even though you could see everything else around the feet lit up, the only thing I saw was like shadows of the feet. And then eventually what happened was, as I was looking at it, I was like all perplexed, like, hey, what's going on? Like, why am I looking at feet here?
Right.
I see.
Why am I looking at feet?
Why am I looking at feet? Right. And then what happened was I look up. I kind of like follow those feet to like who they belong to, and I see a very strange outline. And then all of a sudden, this figure that was standing turned around so quickly.
Oof.
And the only thing I saw were like red glowing eyes.
Oh shit.
It was literally like I was here. I was frozen.
Yeah. Ooh, that's trippy as fuck. I would be scared.
And then as soon as it saw me, my bed roller coasted 5 times the speed that it went all the way back, up, down, spiral, everything
back
else.
To
this time I felt wind. This time I felt my heart and everything else just like jumping out. I had no air in my lungs. Nothing.
That's fucking crazy.
It felt like something was pressing me to the bed itself. I felt pressure from beneath and above, because the bed was going down, it's going up. And you know how when you drop from your heart, everything jumps? I felt that.
Damn.
And then it all of a sudden, stopped within seconds. And I was just like, because it was going 5 times the speed. So I was like, dude, what happened? And then I woke up. And then I see my door. My door was actually a little bit open. It was ajar. And then I see there was a time outside. It was on my microwave. And I was like, dude, oh my God, it's here and it's here. I didn't recognize that, hey, it's just my microwave. But I was like, oh my God, what's going on? I could not move, even after waking up. And I could see my back was wet. When I was finally able to move and then got up, I turned on the light. Everything was wet.
Wow.
And it was sweat.
Yeah.
It was nothing else.
It's crazy.
It was.
What do you think? What do you think? Like looking back on it, what do you think that came from? Like,
I honestly, I'm not too sure, because I've always had this fascination from like the dark side and demons and stuff.
Oh, so you was asking for it?
Not exactly.
Kind of.
I've always been fascinated to an extent, like from the beginning. And then I was just like, kind of looking at like paranormal stories and this and that.
Okay.
But it wasn't recent. It was like a month ago that I stopped. And then this happened a month afterwards. So I was like, is it still linked? Like, what's going on? But then when I finally got up, I looked at the time. Guess what time it was? 3 a.m. in the morning.
What does that signify to you?
3 a.m. is meant to be like the scariest, most evilest time.
Really?
Yeah, if you look it up.
Oh, shit.
If you look at, 3 a.m. by Eminem?
Okay.
You don't know?
If I heard it.
So the entire point of like 3 a.m.
I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah. The entire point on 3 a.m. is like he's gonna do like things to you. He's gonna like murder and this and that, because it's 3 a.m. in the morning. It's like the most crime heavy time. I wish you knew what it was, because that would like really bring the suspense back.
No.
Just Google like what 3 a.m. signifies.
Okay, what does 3 a.m. mean? Oh shit, you're right, witching hour.
You're so casual about it. Like.
Your 3 a.m. awakenings may occur infrequently and be nothing serious, but regular nights like this could be a sign of insomnia. Oh, wait, no, that's some other shit. Okay. It says the witching hour.
Yeah, you don't have to look.
The devil's hour. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Some people equate Christ's time of death, 3 p.m., which with its opposite 3 a.m.
Oh.
People talk a lot of shit. Shut up.
They do.
You don't know shit.
But
But I mean, wow.
Imagine telling this story to somebody who does believe in ghosts.
I probably could imagine.
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of different people, bro.
You do, dude.
Yeah,
you
man.
do.
Yo, bro. All right, so we're coming to a close because I gotta record tonight. But yeah, because I make music.
Yeah.
But what I need from you is a question. Do you have any questions for me?
Questions for you. Based around anything, right? So my first question that I like to ask is like, what is it that you look forward to being in this country? Is it just making a living, or is it much more than that?
Oh yeah. I just see the opportunity for growth, my guy. You know what I mean? In many aspects, in many realms, and like I'm hungry, and it's just like I'm very competitive, and I'm also very like rah! Like I'm in your face about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be annoying you until I get what I want. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna keep on going. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna stop.
And you don't think twice about like annoying someone else?
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
What if that annoyance loses you that opportunity you could have had?
Then it wasn't meant for me. I have to accept that too.
So,
I'm not gonna overstep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like keep I'm being like annoying, but I'm persistent. But if I know if something's not for me, it's not for me. And I have to accept that.
And move
on. You have to move on, of course. Not everything like it's like expecting every girl to like you, and not every girl's gonna like you. Not every person's gonna like you. And not every situation. It's not reality, bro.
It's not.
It's not reality. You know what I mean? Some people are gonna be bothered by your existence. Guess what? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep on coming at you every fucking day. I'm always, yo, bro. I'm gonna keep on coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep on going. Like, that's just like what it is. Like, that's what's in me. You know what I mean? Like, so whether you like me or you don't like me, me da igual. That means it does the same to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it really does the same to me. Like, I'm at a point in my life where if you don't like me, I honestly feel like it's okay. Like, it's okay. Now, for some people, I feel like there's definitely something wrong with you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, for some people. And then for other people, it's just like, I'm not your cup of tea, and I get that too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm, you know, if I'm too much energy or I'm too, you know what I mean? Like, cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean any malice. I don't mean any malice. I just want to, like, enjoy my life, you know? Not have gray hairs early. Just, you know, enjoy it to the end.
I know what you mean. And that's a really good mentality. So you have like a hustler's mentality to be like, I'm going to just keep on going, you know? One obstacle is not going to stop me. If I trip, I'll pick it up and then I'll keep going.
Hands down.
Right? And I respect that a lot.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Man.
Yo, where can the people find you?
Y'all can find me. My Instagram is DEEPAK Agni. I do a lot of stuff on my downtime. You know, I'm really chill. You guys could reach out to me. You know, we could talk about stuff, anything deep, light, whatever you guys want, all right? Thank you guys.
So,
Thank you, Axel, for having me.
No doubt.
Let's go. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know.